Welcome back to New Albion in Theotown. We are back to this little park which I was designing last time we made a video, and it is snowing, I see, today. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and build some little house area here. People will like to live near the park, I imagine. I would like to live next to this park. It would be a very nice place to live, indeed. It's a bit of a Central Park kind of a vibe there, I would say. You know, I really like the movie called You've Got Mail. And it was set in New York City, I believe. It was a Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks movie, romantic movie about finding love via the email. Back when email was a cool, new, amazing technology. Very cute movie. And it was set in the immensely idealistic setting of New York Central Park, dogs and fall trees, and happy people drinking coffee at the bookstore. All things considered, it was one of the most pleasant watches that I ever saw in that genre. So we're just going to imagine this Central Park as that sort of a nice little place where people can perhaps drink coffee and fall in love and just really have a wonderful time, much like that movie. I guess the only thing that really perhaps breaks immersion there is that we have a nuclear power plant right across the street. That's not quite so romantic, but you know, you win some, you lose some. And I guess the power plant is pretty cool if you like power plants. So I wouldn't say it's not I wouldn't say that it couldn't be a selling point. It's really just a matter of how you look at it. Let's see here. We'll do a grog garden, nice place to rest. Now, the game has changed the definitions and descriptions of things because I changed the language to pirate, and so now everything in the game is piratey. Now that's kind of funny. So, as is the case with these videos I've been making, the general idea is it's a chance to kind of talk about life a bit while also playing this chill game. And so today, the life thing I wanted to talk about was how personally I totally got rid of my Facebook account. 100%, just shut it down. And I thought I'd explain why I did that and what my takeaway is. I think that we live in a time where we quite often focus on things that provide the illusion of connection without actually having any of the risk or responsibility or obligation of actual commitment. Maybe that's the trademark of our time, that you can have a phone in your hand that connects you to everybody, but you don't actually have to commit to anybody. And you can have this sense that you have hundreds of friends, but you don't actually have to ever talk to them. And you can have this sense of superiority because you can always show people how good your life is, but you never actually have to reveal that it's not perfect. And so we live in this sort of a fake society where we think that things are really good because we have the optics of really good and really connected and really enlightened and all of this. But at the core of it, we're pretty lost and shallow. Because the truth is, a relationship isn't a relationship if it's just via text message or via your friends list on Facebook. And that's fine. But how much time do we spend thinking about these things that don't matter at all in our life? And for me, I know there was a lot of a sense of fear of loss there. There's that sense of, if I shut down my Facebook account, if I didn't have that, then I would lose these people who I might not otherwise ever see again or talk to. And that was a motivation for me to feel like I wasn't comfortable walking away from it. And at the same time, more and more, I found I was so inclined to always go back to wasting time looking at all the different things people are doing. And then there's that temptation to start to be jealous of people or be judgmental to people or any number of things that aren't very good at all. And it's because the whole platform is geared toward encouraging people to measure themselves up against one another and to virtue signal about whatever it is that they want to impress people with. And really, it's all things you are better off without, truthfully. And that's something I realized. And I guess I just took the plunge one day and I said, you know what, I'm going to just call it a day. I'm done. I'm going to get a bit of my time back, a bit of my life back. And if somebody's important enough to be in my life, then they can pick up the phone and call. And if they're that sort of person that's never going to be remotely the sort of individual I'm going to actually stay in touch with outside of Facebook, they're not at that level, then they might as well not be in my orbit at all. I don't need to be connected to a bunch of worthless things that are going to accomplish nothing for my life just because they provide the illusion that I'm not alone. I'd rather be actually alone and then have that space where I can work on filling the empty space with actual things of true and enduring value. It's like if you went to the Ross store and you bought a bunch of garbage to decorate your house with. All those nice looking things that are cute and they hang on a wall and they look nice. But the truth is, if you were dead, everyone would just load them into a dumpster and trash it all because it has no value at all. It's just garbage that's sold so that you can make your house look like it's full of stuff. Most of our social media friendships are basically like that. They're the people that don't matter. They're not going to be part of our life in any meaningful way. They're just going to be there to post a virtue signal-y picture of their vacation or their breakfast or whatever it is to try to make everybody think that their life is good, and then they go cry in a closet or something after they finish posting some glorious BS on Instagram or something. Like, you don't need that. It's just it's ridiculous. And so as I've done these things, dramatically reducing my screen time on cell phone and completely eliminating my social media presence, truth is, my life's just fine. And I found it helps a lot with that sense of not having time. I have a lot more time now because I don't have quite as many distractions. And I still find that the day goes by and it's easy to feel like I didn't quite have enough time to do all the things I want to do, and I don't even really have that much to do. But when you take away that incessant scrolling and thinking about people who aren't even part of your life and worrying about what they're going to think about you or any of that kind of stuff. I think it makes things better. And if it doesn't make them better, it at least certainly doesn't make them worse. And maybe that's what we need more than anything in our life. It's just to stop having so many things that we hang on to that actually are making our life worse. And we hang on to them because we're afraid to see what might happen if we dared to not have them. You know, it's like that relationship that says, you know what, if you don't have me here, you're going to face a certain end. You're going to be dead. Your life's going to be over. Everything's going to be terrible and you're going to be done. And so you don't dare to test it out. You don't want to find out. You don't want to check and see what it's going to be like because you know you are convinced that you have to have these things. They're the manipulative things in your life that are saying you have to have me here, and if you don't keep on staying in that rat race of addictions and habits and never-ending consumption, then, well, you don't want to find out because it'll be bad. So we don't find out. Until one day we do. And then we realize, you know what? We didn't actually need all that noise. We didn't need all those things. It's okay. It's okay to turn Facebook off. It's crazy to think, but you know, it's actually possible to not have your entire social life funneled through the website of a large corporation that sells your information to people. It's kind of weird to think that we are shocked by that notion, isn't it? Like, it's really kind of ridiculous how little we really need things that we're convinced we can't do without. But you never find out until you turn it off. And then you wake up the next day and the sun came up and you're still alive and life is still all right. And the people who actually matter, the ones who really are going to make a difference in your life, they're still there. So I would challenge everybody. If you're looking for a little more peace in your life, consider disconnecting just a little bit more. Leave the phone off. Get rid of a Facebook account or a social media account of some kind. You might find that you'd be just fine without it. That doesn't mean you don't use technology. What it really all boils down to is that we should be using tools, and the tools shouldn't be using us. And if we are at the point where they are using us and we're slaves to technology and slaves to habits, the only way to fix it is to break the habit. You might be glad you did. Thank you for watching.